Yerp, what's goody team, what's goody team? Welcome to tonight's isolation session for October 21st, 2025. What's good, Mr. Mikey? Welcome, my brother, welcome. Welcome, Mikey. Forgot to switch the scene on this. So horrible. Hope you guys all had a good day today. Hope everyone had a great trading day. We'll get started at 7 p.m. We'll give everybody another 2 minutes to join. As always, we'll be going in order, looking at the pairs that you see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AUD-USD, finishing off with US oil. Once again, we will be going in order from the top to the bottom. But if you guys have any questions about any other pairs, whether or not they're on our list, let me know. Gonna be a pretty quick session today. Shouldn't take us longer than 30-45 minutes for today. Alright guys, let's get started. Yo, what's good, Mikey? Welcome, my brother. Again guys, gonna be a pretty quick one today. We'll do the same thing we did in last night's session with the first pair. You know, we'll go over the market maker's pattern, where we're at, what we're looking for, why we're looking for, what we're looking for. But we're gonna mainly focus on the 30-minute today. Look for any continuations, any break of structures, so then we could get ready to start trading the trading sessions for the early mornings of the end of Asia session going into London. But again, any questions, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, whether or not they're on our list, let me know. For the people watching the recording, if you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to leave any questions in the comment section, or you could always message me on Discord. I'm tired, dude. I might have to do this session, take a shower, and take a nap before I do the trading session tonight. Might have to take like an hour or two nap. I was gonna get back on the game, but I think if I do that, bro, I'm on 4 hours of sleep right now. I don't think I'll be able to stay up all night again like I did yesterday. I might shower, go to the store, get a Red Bull, come back, take a nap, wake up, drink the Red Bull, and be good for the rest of the day. Cause I could take like an hour or two nap. Right, if we finish the session by 8 p.m., that's how I'm gonna try to do it quick, right? We'll be done by 8. I'll be back in bed by 9. Take a shower, go to the store, come back 9, 9:15. Take a nap till 11:30, 12 a.m. Trade from 12 to 3. Take another nap from 3 to 7. And then trade the NYC session if there's anything left from 7 to 10:30 a.m., 11 a.m. I think that would be a pretty good thing to do. You see a double bottom? Let's talk about it. Right? So right now for AU, we know that we're in an overall downtrend. Right? Looking at the market makers pattern, we have push 1, first zone of consolidation, push number 2, second zone of consolidation, and then this is the start of push number 3 where price gave us the break of the zone of consolidation down here. That price gave us the lower low. At this point, we're looking for price to give us a set lower high point, for price to give us that lower high back into the lower lows. Right? Price reached our first point of interest as to where we're expecting price to give us the lower high, which is the 800 EMA, which is the dark blue line, the navy blue line. Our second point of interest, where I'm expecting price to continue the uptrend to then give us that lower high, is this gap that was left behind in the market on the 30-minute time frame. Right? So again, looking at the structure, even though price reached our point of interest, we know that we are still trading higher high and higher low. Right? We're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Price came down, still in the higher low. Tapped into our daily engulfing candle. Mikey, like you said, we have a little double bottom. Right? So the question right now is this going to be the area where price is going to continue this uptrend push? Or is this the area where price is just going to continue the downtrend push and finally give us that push that we want to see back down to the bottom? Right? And currently, what do we see price doing? Moving sideways, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs. So as of right now, price is just moving sideways. There's no trend to AUD USD as of right now. Now we go into the lower time frame. Price we know gave us the higher low. So what do I want to see on the lower time frame? I want to start seeing higher highs and higher lows. Right, on the 5-minute we had lower low, lower high. Might have to go down into the 1 minute for this, right? But in the 1 minute, we just zoom in onto the 5-minute. Sideways means is consolidating. Yep, sideways movement is consolidation. Right, a zone of consolidation, or some people call it a range, is just sideways movement. And on the 1 minute we have lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, low, lower high, lower 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 low, higher high, change of character, higher low, higher high, break of structure, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Where are we? Okay. And then price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low, equal highs here, right? Then went down and gave us a lower low. Then price gave us a change of character, higher high. So at this moment for AU, in order for me to feel comfortable, right? Again, I don't trade against the overall trend, right? So what I'm looking for is just to get the confirmation that price is not going to go down and is just going to continue those uptrend pushes. If price could give me a break of structure above these highs here, that's when I'll start looking to see price continue that uptrend push. If price continues to trend below and continues to make lower lows and lower highs, then we know it's going to continue that push down to the bottom. So right now for AU, maybe we'll wait for another higher high. Right? Ideally, right? If you're looking to take those trades going back to the top side, you want to wait for price to start uptrending, right? Because why would you take a long position when price is still giving you lower low, lower high, and lower low? And again, everything is color coordinated on the screen, right? So the red highs and lows are the 30-minute highs and lows, the 4-hour highs and lows are the blue boxes, and then the daily time frame highs and lows are the gray boxes, right? So ideally you would want to wait for price to flip, right? Ideally you would want to wait for price to give you lower low, lower high, lower low, and then start looking to take those trades back to the top side once price gives you change of character, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This is ideally where I would want to take my trade to go back to the top side. When price gives you the change of character, then it gives you the break of structure. I get in on the break of structure on the retest to then continue back to the top side. Could you find more aggressive trades before the break happens? Absolutely. And that's where the lower time frame comes in. And again, if price on the 1-minute time frame could give us this break of structure up to these highs, then we know that we could start taking these trades, right? We could take these trades back up into these highs here, right? And again, if we go up to the 30-minute time frame, those highs are just the 30-minute highs that we're looking at. Because again, if price doesn't break these highs, then we know it's going to do the same thing that it did here and go back down. Same thing that it did here, went back down. Same thing that it did today, came back down. Right, so we could take these trades, absolutely. These trades could be taken back to the top side up until here. Right, once price reaches these highs, that's when we have to get out of the trade, wait for price to give us a confirmation that it's going to continue that push to the top side, which is when price gives you that break of the highs, to then continue to look for trades on the continuation. What's good, Mr. Albert? Good evening, my brother. I just got home. All good. We just started. Made it in time, man. So AU will be patient. We'll wait it out, see what price wants to do. AUD and again, guys, for today's session, I'm just going to go over the 30-minute time frame. We're going to get done with this pretty quick. Yesterday's stream was pretty good, so if you guys didn't watch yesterday's stream, I would really recommend you guys to do that. AUD CAD, just to speak about where we're at, right? So we're not confused. We know we're in an overall downtrend. We had the first push to the bottom, the first zone of consolidation where we see the sideways movement. And right now, price is still technically on an uptrend, right? 4-hour time frames on an uptrend. The structure looks like we're still on an uptrend. Price on the lower time frame, we're just in a zone of consolidation, very similar to AUD-USD. Right, where price is giving you rejections of the lows, the highs, the lows, the highs, the lows, the highs again, and price came right back down to the lows. So we'll be patient with ACAD. Once we start trending again, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades. Yeah, I feel like it could retest the bottom, but it's 50-50 since it's consolidating. Yep. You're saying for ACAD? Right, it definitely could. Again, we're still on an overall a downtrend, right? So we already know, again, could price continue this push to the top side? Absolutely. Price could go back up into the daily highs over here the same way that it did the last 3 times, right? The same way that we know price when it's at the bottom, it could go all the way to the bottom. Same thing that it did the last 3 times. But price never gave us a valid break of these highs. It was just testing candle. There was no valid breaks. And there was no valid break of these lows either. All of these candles that closed below this line were all testing. They were just inducing the lows. So yeah, could price go higher in this area to give us a steeper pullback up into the daily highs over here? Of course. Right, and again, the confirmations are the same. How do you know that price? The question in this area is like, okay, how do we know that price gave us this set high and this is where price is going to continue that downtrend? Is once the 30-minute gives you that change of character that it did here, right? We had higher high, higher low, higher high, boom, lower low, change of character. The confirmation that price is going to continue to go lower is if price gives you a valid break of these lows. And price never did that. Price gave us an inducement of the low, which was with this candle here that was just a wick that closed below. It wasn't an actual break. So for AUD CAD, before I take the trade, I need to see price break these lows. Once we get a confirmed break of these lows and then we get the retest, that's when I'll start looking to take the trades back down to the bottom. So right now it's just about being patient, because could price just reject these lows again and go back up to the top side and continue this uptrend push? Absolutely. So you want to be patient with that. Time could really fly. Woke up and went to work and now going to bed. No, but trust me, I know. Those are the good days though. So I can't wait to finish this session. I'm gonna shower, take a nap, and then I'll be on again tonight for the London session. I'll turn the stream back on at around 11 or 12 a.m. And then we'll do the same thing we did last night. Well, what I did last night. DOPUSD, give us the entry. You're supposed to give us the entry for DOPUSD. You've been snoozing, man. You didn't even do your isolation session today. You didn't give us a signal. The coach didn't give us a signal today, man. You're supposed to be the one waking up in the morning telling us, yo, buy and sell, buy and sell. You ain't doing none of that. What's goody, Muhammad? Welcome, welcome. Guys, make sure you like the stream, please. Make sure you guys like the stream up. You skip DOPUSD. What's good, brothers? I'm doing good, man. Yo, I don't know how he does it, yo, for real, for real. I don't know how the hell he could stay up that late. Like, I'm good throughout the day, right? I was good throughout the day. It isn't until like 6 p.m. hit, I started feeling tired. And I'm like, yo, I can't imagine staying up for another 7 hours. There's no way. I need to take a nap. I don't know how he does that shit. Yo, but there's only so much card that could be played. Like, I don't know if this happens to you, but like when I get really tired, my eyelashes start hurting. And that's what I'm feeling right now. Oh, you do take naps in the day. Okay, no, that makes sense. No, I can't take naps. My body just doesn't go to sleep. And again, it's not like I'm tired throughout the day either. Like, if I'm really tired, then yeah, I could go down and take a little hour power nap or whatever the case is. That's very rare. But again, it's not like, for example, I went to bed at around 3:30. I woke up at 6:30. And I felt fine. Like, I woke up completely, like, I felt good. I felt good the entire day up until like literally an hour ago. Speed it up, my bad, my bad, my bad. Alright, so Euro AUD, yo. Alright, Muhammad. Damn. Can't even talk. Euro USD to give us a confirmation at the top for me to kind of comfortable to go in. We'll go over Euro USD. I got you. Less yapping, more doing. Alright. Oh, for Euro AUD. Okay. Let's see. We'll go through it now. You said needs to give us a confirmation at the top for me to kind of feel comfortable going, right? So Euro AUD, we know that we're still in an overall uptrend, right? We had the double bottom, push one, first zone of consolidation, push number two, second zone of consolidation, and we started that push number three back to the top side. We're expecting price to reach at least our previous peak highs at these highs. So we still have a little bit of go for EA. As we zoom in, we can see that again, price is just stuck in a little range where price is rejecting lows, highs, lows, going back to the middle, going back to the lows, rejecting the lows, going back to the highs, rejecting the highs, giving us an exhaustion candle. And same thing that we saw last night, as soon as it gave us that exhaustion candle, price went right back down to the bottom. .30-minute time frame. Okay. 30-minute time frame, we're still trading. Higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Price continued the trend the entire time, never really gave us any pullbacks. The valid break didn't happen until price gave us these pushes here, right? Because this was only the first green candle. We got the confirmed break with these candles. So all of this is part of the same trend. We know that we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. There was two things to keep a note on here, right? We were talking about this last night, that there was a few people who took this trade pretty early trying to go up, right? And like we explained yesterday, there's a lot of confirmations here in the market, right? And this is why I always say it's good to know different strategies, because when they show up on the charts, you know that at least it's something to keep an eye on. And it was very simple with EA, and there was a few other pairs that looked very identical to EA. Price gave us a shoulder head shoulder, gave us the break below, came up, gave the retest, went back down to the bottom. There was a lot of people who took trades very early, got into the trade here, right, got hit out. A lot of traders who got into the trades here thinking that price was going to continue, got hit out, right? The entire time throughout the end of Asia going into the NYC session, that was what the market makers were doing, just trapping traders the entire time, giving you false signals, false confirmations, just to go back into your stop loss. So right now for, what do we do for EA? A day of no net, we just moved sideways today. So again, for EA, we're still technically in a higher low. So perfect. If price decides to respect the 800 EMA, and we start seeing price giving us those internal higher highs and higher lows, then we know we could continue to take those trades back to the top side. And we also know that we have a third week high. So we still have the entire week, right? It's only Tuesday today. We still got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for price to either give us the confirmation that it wants to continue to push to the top side, and we'll target that third week push to the top, or price is going to give us a confirmation that it wants to continue lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, to then continue down into the lower lows. So we'll be patient with EA. We'll wait for price to turn around. Once it gives us the confirmation that it wants to create another higher high point, then that's when we'll get into those trades. You better not tell me that. Oh yeah, that's insane. EA gave an entry? No. Not yet, at least. Nah, nothing for EA. EA was just moving sideways today. Right, moving counter trend, still making lower lows and lower highs, so nothing yet. I wanted to ask Eric a question on last Sunday's isolation. Ask away. If you want to put it in the chat, you can, or if you want to message him on Discord, you could as well. Was wondering if I could use your markup or market structure for the daily 4-hour 30-minute time frame, but use Eric's markup for the 5-minute and taking entries. Yeah, I mean, you definitely can. Again, like the way that he marks up is like what he was explaining. I think you were there for that session, right? The way that he marks up his 5-minute is based on the entry criteria that he has for the entry strategies on the 5-minute time frame. So I don't think it's a bad idea. If you see it, if you see it better, if it's easier for you to see marking it the way that he marks it up, definitely mark it up the way that he marks it up. Nothing wrong with that. Did we go over ECAD already? This is how tired I am. I really am really tired. Right, ECAD gave us 3 days of drop. After 3 days of drop, the market must move sideways or go up. We still know that we're making higher highs and higher lows on the 4-hour time frame. 30-minute time frame, we're still making higher highs and higher lows as well. But again, we go down into the lower time frame, and we know that we are still trading lower low, lower high into these lower lows. So ECAD, I'll be waiting for price to turn around. Once we start making higher highs and higher lows, and it gives us a confirmation that this is where the higher low is going to be set, then we'll start looking to take those trades. We'll be patient with ECAD. This could be a good one to keep an eye on for the week as well. But we'll see how price reacts. For Euro USD, we'll go together on the Discord and you can share. Okay. Euro USD again, very similar to EA on the 30-minute time frame. Right? We know that we were still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Price gave us a shoulder head shoulder, gave us the break below, the retest, and it continued, right? And you can see that price the entire time, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. If you go down to the 1 minute time frame, you have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, to where we're at now. Right? This is another pair. Let me go ahead and delete some of these drawings here. Right? We have 3 days of drop. We have a change of character to the bottom side. And we're trading between, we still don't have a set low just yet, but I'm going to mark up this entire area here. We have 3 days of drop. After 3 days of drop, the market must move sideways or go up. So EU is definitely going to be another pair that we want to keep an eye on for tomorrow. And we'll be patient with it. Again, once price starts giving us higher highs and higher lows on the internal time frame, that's when I'll start looking to take those trades back to the top side. Same thing for GA, right? And GA is a pair that's in peak high territory, so technically for this one as well, is not a pair that I have on my watch list that I'm currently trading, but I do still keep it marked. And again, very similar to the other pairs, we have a shoulder head shoulder, broke the lows, gave the retest, came back down to the bottom. We can still see lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high point. Price came up, gave you the inducement of the high, came back down, trapping traders from 4 in the morning up until the NYC session. All the people who thought that this was going to be a flip zone or that price was going to completely turn around because, oh, look at the momentum that we have. This is going to be higher high, higher low to continue back all the way to the highs. And it goes right back down and hits your stop loss. If you didn't cash out at the top, once price gave you the inducement, straight down. So GA will be patient. Again, that's a pair on my list that I'm not really focused on for right now, so we could just skip over it. And again, really the last pair that I'm focusing on the list is GU, well, NZD USD. All the other pairs at the bottom, besides US oil, I'm not really trading them, right? So we're almost done. So any questions, guys, let me know. Today's session was a lot faster than last night's for sure. But we gave you guys a lot of gems yesterday. Gave you a lot of gems yesterday. So again, I'll give you guys a minute here in the chat. Type 1 if you're good, you want me to keep going. Or if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. We'll give you guys a minute. Any questions at all, anything you want me to explain again. It faked them all out. Everybody out. There were so many losses today on the markets, man. So many people trading, gold. So many people trading US 30. There's a lot of losses this morning that I saw when I woke up. DOP USD, yo, I can't touch that pair. That's your pair. You have to get on the call for that. You have to give me the signal for DOP USD. GCAD looks interesting. Yeah, for GCAD is one pair that again, I love trading GCAD. The trades that I have taken for GCAD it's a very comfortable pair to trade when it's trending. Right? But a lot of these pairs these last couple of weeks have shapened up to kind of look the same. And yesterday we were speaking about GCAD because yes, even though we could see that we're kind of in a zone where price is moving sideways, we're still making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high. So we are still technically on a trend, which is good, right? GCAD, we know that we're expecting price to go a little bit higher. We're in the third push to the top side. We're expecting price to reach at least our previous peak highs at these highs. So there's still a lot of more momentum left on this pair to continue the push to the top side. And And really what we were waiting for was for price to give us a valid break of these highs here, which we did end up getting. Give me 1 second, my grandma's calling me. My bad. So we were waiting for GCAT to give us that valid break, which we got, right? We got a higher high point, and now we're just looking for a higher low point to be set. I'll be looking at EU today and GJ and AU. You should put your watch list in the Discord. Maybe, I don't know. Give us some seeds, man. Like we're pigeons. Feed us the pears, man. Right, so we're looking for the higher low to be set. The first point of interest as to where we thought the higher low was going to be set was the bounce off the 50 EMA here on the daily time frame. The 4-hour time frame, it wasn't really that high probability since we were so close. And again, very similar to the other pairs, the pullback at the top side gave us a shoulder head shoulder. Right, so we already knew that on the 4-hour, structure didn't really look that good. We already knew where we were at. We were kind of looking for a steeper pullback to happen. So I am still expecting price to push down a little lower, at least to the 50 EMA. Right, if it wants to go lower, it definitely could. Once again, we're trading between, you know, higher high, higher low, higher high on the 4-hour time frame. So we could be looking for a steeper pullback. A steeper pullback definitely could happen. But again, once price reaches our point of interest, we'll be waiting for the same thing, for price to give us that change of character, break of structure back to the top side on the lower time frame. Right now, we can still see price giving us lower lows and lower highs. We'll be patient with it. We'll go on to the next one. GJ and AU, I told you on Sunday. EURUSD had a 372 counter trend. That was made yesterday. I also said GJ and AU on Sunday. I'm glad I caught that. It was worth it staying up. For GJ, let me those were all the drawings that we have from yesterday, what we were looking at. Right, and I got so tired. It was like 2. I'm like, oh man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to stay up any longer. And I'm fucking. As soon as I got to bed, I saw the chart again. I took the trade, went to sleep, woke up, hit profit. Right, pretty simple trade. Right, so GJ, we know that we're still in an uptrend. Right, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then on the push from the higher low to the higher high, price decided to give us a zone of consolidation. That price finally broke out of the zone of consolidation once we made these pushes to the top side. So we understood, okay, cool, we have a higher high, and we're looking for a higher low to be set. Now again, we had a gap in the market. The gap in the market is just an indicator. It's another indicator that tells us that price could go lower. So it's just a point of interest to tell us, like, okay, if price breaks below the 800 EMA and we start trending down to the bottom and we see lower lows and lower highs and we get the valid breaks and we start trending below the 800 EMA, then we know that this higher low point is going to be a steeper pullback down to the bottom. Price reached the first point of interest, which we had the 800 EMA, we had the 50% retracement on the fibs. This was a high chance, a high probable area in the market where price was going to give us that 4-hour higher low to continue back into the higher high. Right? Price on the 30-minute gave us lower low, lower high, lower low. Gave us a push, lower high to the top side. On the push down to the bottom, again, for price to turn around, what do we want to see? We want to start seeing higher highs and higher lows. Did price start doing that? Yes. It gave us lower low, lower high, lower low. Then it gave us a change of character, higher high. It came down and gave us a higher low. And then at 1 in the morning, it ended up from 1 to 1:30. It gave us a break of structure, higher high on the 30-minute time frame. Once it gave us that break and we got the retest, beautiful. You have the 50 crossing the 200 EMA. You have the bounce off the 50 EMA in level 3. That's what it is, right? And then my stop loss was based on the fibs. We had the 50% retracement, so my stop loss was below the 61.8, right back into take profit. TP for the day was 114 pips. That was STP for the day. Took my cash at 114 pips. My market makers for GJ, I don't have this one marked up completely. This one is just more current time, but this is what I have. I have this small area here, this area, and then the push to the top side, where we could still see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Is Michael back or is it a different person? No, it's a different person. He joined us today. But the other Mike, now I have no clue where he's at, man. Me and Kendall have tried to send him an email and everything, and nothing. That guy just completely disappeared. He hasn't been active in Discord, nothing. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete these drawings that we had from yesterday. So we don't have too much on the screen. You had a day of rise, and then price gave us a change of character to the top side. So for me, for GJ, we'll see if we could catch any continuations to the top side. Would love to get that break first before I take a trade. But if we get a lower time frame confirmation or an engulfing candle entry, we know we could take those trades back to the top side. GU, man, I cannot wait to close my eyes. I'm so tired. You guys have no idea. I was like, yo, I'm gonna just finish the session and play some COD till fucking 3 in the morning again. There is no way I'm gonna do that today. No way. Right, GU very similar to EU. Gave us not a clean shoulder head shoulder, but we could see that it gave us a little zone of consolidation for a little bit. Broke below it, gave us 2 days of drop. Right, moving counter trend. We still don't have that valid break. We had the change of character, higher high to the top side. So we'll be patient with GU. Right, again, GU and EU, I would like to see steeper pullbacks on these. Ideally, that's what I would want to see. We don't have any engulfing candles on none of these time frames either. So again, same thing. As soon as we start seeing the lower time frame give us higher highs and higher lows, we could still see price giving us lower lows and lower highs. Right, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Gave us an inducement to the high, then it came back down and gave us another lower low when the market's open. So we are still on a downtrend. As soon as we start seeing higher highs and higher lows again, and we could say that that's going to be the set point to then continue, that's when I'll start looking to take those trades. NU, I'm looking for a valid break above these highs before I take a trade. For today, price just moved sideways. Right, came back to the 30-minute highs, came down, came back to them. Looks like price wants to trend back down again. And then these last pairs up until oil, we'll just update the 30-minute time frame. 30, thank you. Gave us 2 days of rise. Gave us a 3rd day push today. Went up to the highs. Tapped our 30-minute highs, gave us another change of character again back to the top side. We're trading between some big zones on US 30. I'm gonna just keep this updated so I don't have to do this all in one day. But again, US 30 right now for me, I'm not really trading it. I keep an eye on it, right? If something simple shows up on the charts, by the time that I'm on it, I'll take it, no problem. But I respect US 30 a little bit, right? But 3 days of rise, after 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. Price disrespected the engulfing candle, which again, we already knew that was going to happen. Price was still on an uptrend. And we gave the inducements of the 4-hour and the daily highs. Explain your USD. Yeah, I got you. Oh, man. We have push 1, first zone of consolidation on an uptrend. We have the break, the start of level 2 that gave us the break, higher high, higher low, to then give us that push to the top side that gave us a higher high. At this moment, I'm not going to mark this as higher high, higher low, higher high on the daily time frame. Just going to say that this is all part of the same trend, right? Didn't get a clean break of the daily time frame high. It was just that one candle break above. No continuations on the daily. Let's go back to the daily, right? Level 2, we know we're looking for price to bounce off the 200 EMA. So right now, I am expecting price to at least give me a steeper pullback into the 200 EMA. Oh, whatever. I'm gonna do it again anyway. Come on, man. I'm gonna start ignoring you. Stop fucking with me, man. I'm over here trying to go to sleep. Right, so we know that level 2, we're looking for price to bounce off the 200 EMA. Looking for price to give us a steeper pullback. First point of interest is going to be the 4-hour lows and the 200 EMA. If price, very similar to GJ, right? We know we have these gaps at the bottom of the market. We know we have these gaps. We know we have these gaps at the top. But gaps don't have to be filled right away. Again, it could take weeks. It could take months. We saw it with AUD-USD. We have a gap in the market that was printed last year in October, right? So those gaps don't have to be filled right away. But having those gaps on the market, having those gaps on the chart marked up, it at least gives you a nice point of interest as to where you could expect price to continue the momentum movements that it has. So if price reaches the 200 EMA and it gives us a higher low in this area, because again, we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. If price gives us the higher low onto the 200 EMA, and then internally on the 30-minute, on the 5-minute time frame, if it starts making higher highs and higher lows, we know we could take those trades back to the top side. If price breaks below this area, we know it's going to continue that downtrend push. And then our second point of interest is going to be for price to fill that 30-minute gap, right? And at that moment, the 800 EMA would be very close to that point as well. Love you too, man. It's all good. I'm here just to get bullied, bro. I got Muhammad telling me to speed up and stop talking. Then I got you bullying me because you know that I'm tired. It's all good though. 4-hour time frame, right? We see a little bit better. We have higher high, higher low, higher high. Price is still at a higher low. Just getting traders to get in. In this area, both at the bottom and the highs, you have price giving you the double bottom. So all the traders who got into this trade here thinking that this is a double bottom to continue the push to the top side, right? The break of the neckline, the retest. How many traders you think are currently in this trade for Euro USD who thought that this was going to be the double bottom to break the retest? Oh, this is where price is going to go up. Go in now, right? And again, like we explained earlier, this is also the same area where the market makers gave you a shoulder head shoulder. So in this same area, just think about it. Just in this area alone, you had buyers here and you had sellers here. This is maybe a 10 pip difference? 33 pip difference? Don't even have my session breaks on. So, want to be careful in these areas. Just traders getting trapped left and right every single time. So we'll be patient with EU. So if price doesn't break above, you just leave it be, right? Just a test of the highs. On the on which I'm sorry, on which time frame were you looking at? Or for which pair was that question? If price doesn't break above, you just leave it be. In this point, what I'm looking for is for price to give me the higher low, right? So right now for for Euro USD, once that higher low was set, right? Let's go back to the daily real quick, right? Once, or I'm sorry, the 4 hour time frame. Once this higher low was set here, right? We'll go down to the 30 now, right? Once the higher low is set, what are we looking for price to do? We're looking for price to give us the change of character, and we're waiting for price to give us the break. Remember what I was saying on Sunday? I believe I said this on Sunday session. I have this marked as a 30-minute higher high, higher low, higher high, just so we could get a little bit more of an aggressive trade. But technically speaking, again, all of this is part of the same trend. Right? Technically speaking, all of this is part of the same trend because price never stopped. Price continued the trend the entire time. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher, back up into the higher high. Right? But this was just a nice little area to just continue to look for price just in case price wanted to respect these lows. So technically speaking, did price give us a valid break of structure on the 30-minute time frame? No. On the 30-minute time frame, I would still mark this as these lows down here and these highs up here. So before I take a trade going to the top side, right, in order for us to say that this is where the higher low is set, for us to say that this is a valid double bottom, right, and the break of the neckline, I need to see price give me the change of character and then a valid break of structure. Right, and on the daily time frame, in this case, okay, you're saying what the daily highs and the daily lows. In this case, yes. In this case, I'm looking at this entire move here, higher high, higher low, higher high on the daily time frame, right? And then on the 4 hour would be higher high, higher low, higher high. This is just a test of the highs. Price never gave us a valid break. USD CAD has been in the zone of consolidation for the last week and a half. Again, USD CAD right now is not a pair that I'm going to be keeping an eye on, so I'm just going to mark the 30-minute, update the charts if needed. USDs are very similar to USD CAD, has just been in the sideways movement for the last couple days. Still trading between the same 30-minute low and 30-minute high, where price is just inducing traders left and right. Gold is another pair that I'm upset about from yesterday. We had this marked up and it gave us the entry as soon as the market's open, man. I'm so upset about gold. Would have been a perfect trade. It gave us a gap in the market as soon as the market opened, gave us the retest of the 5-minute engulfing, but I wasn't on my charts yet at this time. It was too early. But it gave us a beautiful entry straight into STP and it did way more. Right? Fucking gold went straight to hell. Did fucking 29,000 pips. It did 2,900 pips. Yeah, it's crazy. So that's pretty much with gold, man. Gold don't really got nothing for me. That would have been a beautiful trade though. Tapped into the engulfing candles. We had a 30-minute and a 5-minute engulfing. We had the 1-minute change and break. Retest. Right? It gave us the inducement before all of this was printed. Price gave us the inducement of the high at the end of the session yesterday. It was a beautiful chart to look at yesterday. Definitely, I would say gold was a missed opportunity last night. That was a beautiful catch. Thank you. No problem, Mr. Albert. For Bitcoin, we had 3 days of rise. Market doesn't close for another 15 minutes, but we had 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. And we see that price went down. We have 15 minutes, but I'm pretty sure price isn't going to give us this big of a movement back to the top side to finish on a no net 150 pips. I don't think so. So Bitcoin, we have a day of drop. And then last but not least, US oil. Again, guys, any questions, let me know. Oil gave us lower low, lower high, lower low, and then gave us a nice little change of character to the top side. It was just a wick, but that's okay. We'll mark it this way for now. This is a big area. I don't like trading. I don't like marking up these areas this big. We'll update it tomorrow if needed. And then we finished on a day of counter rise. Okay, go to sleep, bro. I'm gonna sleep. Hopefully I wake up, cause on Friday I tried waking up. Like I said, fuck it. I'm a start on Friday. This was last week. I'm like, oh, Friday I'm a wake up for London session. Like the end of Asia going into London. I went to bed at like 10 or 11 or something, and I put my alarm. I woke up to the alarms and I turned them bitches back off. I was like, yo, I'm not waking up. But last night was good. I felt good last night. I think I'll be able to do it again tonight. I'll definitely do it tonight, yo. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna go to Wawa. I'm gonna go get a Red Bull. I'm gonna come back home. I'm gonna go to sleep. And I'm gonna wake up and chug that Red Bull. I think I'll be good for tonight. I'm gonna try to be back in the house at like 9. I'm gonna take a nap from like 9 to 11. Wake up, get on the charts. If there's nothing on the charts at 11, I'm gonna get on COD. And then I'll play COD for a few hours up until like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then I'll get back on the charts till 3 and see if there's any movements. And then if not, then we'll be on again in the morning for the trading session for NYC. There's some interesting pairs. Yeah, there's a few. There's a few pairs that I want to keep an eye on. I'm gonna go through the pairs one by one again. Just go through it, see if I missed anything. As far as like pairs that I'm really keeping an eye on like that, there's not many. Again, like yeah, EU, GU. You know, the ones that already gave us 3 days of counter, looking for price to start the trend. Those are pairs that I'll keep an eye on. Right, again, especially GJ. I like that GJ is giving us these pushes to the top side. We'll see those continuations too. The lower time frame on GJ is gonna be. That's why I like trading GJ. Like it's such a fun pair to trade, right? Because you know the inducements have to happen. Boom, 1 a.m. the inducements happen. That's it. We already know we're good to go. The inducements were set for the day, which were these two candles from 12:30. I'm sorry, from 1 to 1 fucking to 1:05. So 105. So literally 5 minutes of inducements happening. The move happened that gave us a valid break. The retest. This was a beautiful trade. Again, I love trading GJ because you can't miss it. Like every day is going to give you those inducements. Every day the market is going to give you these inducements. Gives you the fake inducements, then goes. Right? Gives you an inducement, then goes. GJ is a very simple pair to trade once you know what to look for and how to look for it. But if you're like somebody we know on Instagram, you know, I'm not going to say much. I'll keep it at that. Right, GCAD is another one that I want to keep an eye on. GA, I'm not going to be trading it. Again, EU could be a good one. You know, but only thing I don't like about EU is where the EMAs are. We're already trending below all the EMAs. This could be one, again, really similar to GU where we're just going to be looking for a steeper pullback to happen. ECAD, very similar to EU, right? Yeah, we have 3 days of drop. We're trading at a higher low, but we're trending below the EMAs already at this point. But we'll be waiting for the same thing to happen. EA could be good. EA is one on the watch list for sure. For that 3rd week push. If we could start getting price to start trending back to the top side, we'll take these trades into our 3rd week push towards the end of the week as well. So if EA gives us an entry for today and it gives us the movements we want to see, we'll have trades for EA Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday back to the top side for sure. So EA is number 1 on my list. And then AU and ACAT are pretty much still in the zone of consolidation, so those aren't really ones on my list for right now. And AU, very similar to gold yesterday, gave us a beautiful engulfing retest, but golfing candle didn't have that top wick. Very unfortunate. So that's pretty much it, guys. Again, any other questions? Seems like you guys were good. Yeah, a lot of them are just consolidating. I'll give you guys another minute in the chat. Any questions, let me know. Anything else you guys want me to talk about? Any other pairs you guys want me to go over? If not, that's it for tonight. We'll be back again. Well, that's it for the isolation session. We'll be back again later for the trading session for London. I'll try to be up by 11, turn the stream on by 11:10, 11:15, and then we'll go on from there. Any big news that's coming out? That's a good question, especially for London and Asia and London. For USD, you know, we're still under government shutdown, so there's not going to be no news in the morning for the NYC session. But yes, there's GBP news at 2, so that's perfect. So we'll definitely be up, and that's it. There's nothing else for the rest of the day. Right, these USD folders on Friday. Again, if the government is still shut down by Friday, they said it'll be lifted this week, so maybe they lift it before Friday, so they could throw this news and do some crazy shit in the market. But yeah, we got news for GBP tonight, so the GBP pairs are going to be interesting to trade. Very interesting to trade. But alright guys, make sure you guys save your charts before you close out of the application, so your drawings don't get all messed up. Since there's no more questions in the chat, we'll be done for now. We'll be back again later. Have a good rest of your night. Peace out.